So when it rains, it pours, and especially on the high seas, because for the second time in just 8 days, a U.S. fighter has been lost to the Red Sea after falling from, again, the USS Harry Truman aircraft carrier. Holy God.
What did that aircraft carry out of? Is it
I don't understand how this can even be a real story, but we're not getting this from The Onion, people. This is real. So an FA-18F Super Hornet was attempting to land on the Truman's flight deck on Tuesday when a maneuver failed, causing the aircraft to go overboard. The two crew members inside the aircraft ejected and sustained minor injuries. The jets themselves are reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars. Oh, yeah, big money, right? And this comes after another Super Hornet went overboard in the same sea on Monday in a separate incident, a week Monday. It was under tow in the hangar bay when the crew lost control of the aircraft. They use a thingamabobber. Commander McMillan talked about this on our last Ukraine update show. And the sailors sustained minor injuries, and the tractor that was towing the aircraft was also pulled in the water. During this second incident, officials said there was a failure of an arrestment, referring to the cable that is used to help slow the jets down upon landing on the aircraft carrier itself. Yeah. So the jet may have tipped overboard after the aircraft carrier made a sharp turn while taking evasive action against Houthi militants in Yemen. This is U.S. officials have told CBS News. So just hours earlier on Tuesday, President Ronald Gump announced that the U.S. would stop attacking the Iran-based Houthis if the group stopped targeting ships and shipping in the Red Sea. The Truman has been involved in several incidents in the Red Sea as well, including last December when the USS Gettysburg mistakenly shot down an F-18 fighter that was operating from the carrier. Both crew members did survive that incident. Now, yeah, it's so bad. So now I do want to skip over while we're on this type of subject, the military, that is. Let's switch to a decidedly not good story where the Supreme Court upheld the Trump administration can begin immediately enforcing a ban on transgender service members in the military. Boo. The decision is a major victory for President Ronald Gump's administration and its efforts to get Project 2025 rammed into the government administration of America. And they've been looking to get the high court to unlock various parts of this second term agenda that they've been throwing at us left, right, and center. And here's one that has gotten through. And in emergency rulings, the court did not explain its reasoning. The three liberal justices publicly dissented from the decision, but also did not explain their positions. I don't agree with that. Come on. Get it out. Get it in the open. What's wrong? During the president's first term, the High Court permitted Trump to enforce a similar, yet slightly more permissive ban on trans members. And that prohibition was later reversed by President Joe Biden. So it's come to pass. It's starting to happen. You got, on one hand, the American military making some very public, drastic mistakes in the middle of a situation that is somewhat and pretty much, you could say, operational. And at the same time, if I was to scroll down that article a bit more, it's unclear exactly how many transgender individuals serve in the U.S. military at the moment. But in 2018, an independent research institute estimated there was 14,000 serving. That's 2018. Wow. So I guarantee that number is way higher now. I'd put it at like 20. That's a guess.
Considering all their military equipment is transitioning into submersibles.
Maybe they're testing new airplanes that act like mini submarines for attack, and they just don't want to admit it. But yeah, it's a strange situation. I hope they get it together because, as they always tell everybody, they're the only reason us Canadians have any protection. Where are you going first here, Dunk?
Yeah, well, we've got a dangerous new trend circulating on TickTok has prompted multiple school evacuations across Connecticut as students intentionally damaged their Chromebooks, causing them to overheat, smoke, and even catch fire. The stunt involves inserting metal objects like pencils or springs into the charging ports, triggering electrical shorts that can lead to battery combustion. One of the most serious incidents occurred at Newington High School, where a Chromebook began to smoke and melt, forcing a full evacuation. They say this wasn't a malfunction, it was intentional, said Dr. Maureen Brummett, superintendent of Newington Public Schools. A student deliberately tampered with his own device, idiot. First responders were called to the scene, and toxic smoke filled the classroom, according to Newington Fire Marshal DJ Zorden. The lithium-ion-based batteries in Chromebooks, once ignited, can release dangerous fumes and cause explosions. Zorden says it's more than just a trend. It puts lives at risk and strains emergency response resources.
It's also a real big waste of money and stupid.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, a similar Chromebook-related fires occurred at Derby High School and Cromwell High School just days later. Cromwell Fire Marshal Harold Holmes warned that these fires could have easily caused serious injuries. Shrapnel from exploding batteries could hurt bystanders, he said. These devices aren't designed to be tampered with. Well, yeah, they are. Obviously, they're designed to be tampered with as a computer. But so far, no injuries have been reported, but officials say the consequences for students involved will be severe. Beyond the safety risks, the damage is also costly.
Yeah.
They say, probably, well, they're not that, they're cheap ones, aren't they? They're crap.
Yeah, but even anyway, still, like, you add them up if everybody starts doing this kind of stupid crap, right?
Yeah, there's somebody, Brummett, who's that? I can't remember who that is now. But he says Chromebooks are expensive and intentional destruction isn't covered by our insurance. Families will be responsible. You stick a thing inside your Chromebook, sets on fire, and you've got to buy a new one.
But here's the thing the school hasn't anticipated, or the school district or whatever. The child who's dumb enough to do this comes from parents who can't afford to replace that Chromebook for the school.
More than likely.
Yes, this is just going to be a burden on the school, which already has such small budget. It's not funny. Children, stop being morons. I really.
I bet all their work's on the Chromebook as well. It's like, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Now I fail everything too. Yeah. Oh, please, people, think things through before you do them. Come on, right? If you're new here, hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons because we'd really appreciate it.
Yes, and remember, before you stick a nasty comment in the comment section, do not stick your dick into the electrical socket. It might be a funny trick, but it's dangerous. Don't do it.
Get a quick perm, though.